Well, good morning and welcome to the North American Bear Center's live broadcast. Coming from the North American Bear Center, I'm Scott Edgett, and we got Sharon Harrell coming here, our bear keeper, senior bear keeper. Here she comes, and we got Spencer uh, coming, and you all know Spencer. A lot of you have seen him, and some of you haven't. Spencer is our director in training and a biologist, and for those of you who don't know, but we want to say good morning and welcome. We haven't got together for a long time and talked about some things.
Feels like we haven't been on a live broadcast shoulder to shoulder in a while.
I think the last time we were on it was when we were talking about the fencing. Am I correct?
That would be correct, but I can't be shoulder to shoulder with anyone here.
Well, we're starting already. But we want to thank everybody for joining us today. And we're going to talk about a number of things. We're going to talk about the season closing already. And it's hard to believe, going to another note, that it's been a year since we kicked off our early giving for Give to the Max. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk about our wonderful pond and waterfall situation. And we're going to cover bears. We're going to cover interns and programs that Natasha has done an excellent job on. And Spencer is going to talk about that a little bit. Next week we'll have Natasha as a guest, as we're going to go live again. But right now we're just going to open up and talk about our season. Our season has been a nice season. We have had good customers. Our counts have been pretty much even throughout the summer months compared to last year and the year before. We've seen an uptick in our retail store sales, which have really helped us out, especially in August. They did. And you've seen a lot of stuff that's being put on Facebook. And for those Facebook live folks that are joining us today, thank you for watching us. Thank you for being on and keeping in touch with us. I know we got a lot of cool ads that Missy puts in for our store merchandise and different things. But overall, our summer was, our spring started out a little challenging for Sharon and Spencer and Natasha and the interns with the fencing project going on. I got to say, overall, it went phenomenal. I mean, our guests were happy. We've gotten good reviews, even though we had great big excavators in the path and in their way, and bulldozers, or not bulldozers, but bobcats, and a little mini in front of that too, and all the noise. Our customers and all of our staff did a fantastic job. Overall, again, as far as the sales go and the side of the people visiting the Bear Center for educational purposes to see Dr. Lynn Rogers, all the information that him and many others put together over the years, we've had an exciting year, I would say, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it's pretty fun. We
Yeah.
got a lot of really high visitor count days, and where there's a little extra, a little more things to do around here, and it's teeming with life, which is kind of nice in comparison to today, where there's not a whole lot going on because we're approaching the end of the season. But we had a lot of busy summer days. It was pretty fun.
Yeah, we're actually open 10 to 4 now, and we're standing here broadcasting, and nobody's showed up yet, right?
No, and I'm watching. No one's driven in yet.
No. Yeah, but at the same time, the Bear Center is staying open till the end of this month. The last Sunday of this month is when we close for the season, and it's been actually our September was fantastic. August was good. June and July were a little bit flat, which is odd, but that's how it goes. We've had a lot of rainy days. We've had a lot of sunny days. We've had some heat. We've had a little of everything. We've had a really odd fall for color this year. It's weather, everything. I mean, it was 84 degrees one day and it was 44 the next day, or close to the next day. But we're used to dealing with that kind of weather up here. One of the things that we struggled with during the fencing project, which Give to the Max helped out enormously, and all you out there that gave, without your help and that, we wouldn't have been able to do that project. But that project probably overall is going to run us in the area of about $400,000. It will not be on our goal for Give to the Max this year. For the first time, we get to not have that as a goal.
Yeah, we don't get a raise for the fence. All right.
Right?
Right.
Eventually you run out of things to say about the fence, but
Right.
man, have we gotten the good reviews on the fencing and how it looks and how nice it is. But you know what's more exciting?
What?
We got all those fences, and we got 3 bears. We still miss Ted dearly. That was a tough season without Ted, right?
It's been hard on not only some of the most of the visitors at Newted, but the staff as well.
Yeah. We opened up the season with a definitely with an emptiness with seeing that pen there and no Ted in it, no noise and no you know what. First we dealt with Honey, then Ted. Um, it's never easy, but at the same time, again, the staff did great and move forward, and we continue to march along. But as we're going through the summer months and watching Bears interactions with the equipment, all the noise and
Yeah.
everything they had to deal with, I think they did really well.
I think the one that was probably the worst was Lucky, who doesn't like large machinery, and so he did spend a lot of time in the big bunker or in the small bunker where he was housed for quite a while. But I tell you, he has been in all five dens. He has rearranged dirt in all five dens, but he's liking number two so far.
It's kind of funny. He was sitting in a bowl. He's sitting in one of the.
Yep.
I couldn't believe it. We've had some great shots of Bears doing some
Oh,
really neat
really
things this year.
amazing. That tub, I don't know why he thought well, he did get in it. I don't understand how a 400-pound bear fits himself and then plays with his toes on top of it. That was just hilarious. And so one of our wonderful volunteers got him his own tub. He's not fat in that sense, but he seemed to like Tasha's. But he's just such a hysterical bear when you he just does things and you just sit there and the more you think he's silly, the more he does.
Yeah. And the Bears are, of course, a super big hit to the Bear Center. Obviously, they're a big draw, but the Bear Center itself, in the professional way that it's operated with all the great help we've had this year, from Deb and the store retail manager and her crew, to the office, to the volunteers, to the interns, to having Natasha here and Brandon here, has been a real joy for us this year. Really has.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
come a long way.
And our intern program in itself, we've had great interns this year. They've come up with some awesome products. I'll let you talk about their, I shouldn't say products, but projects, and I'll let you talk a little bit about those.
Awesome. Thank you, Scott. So, yeah, like Scott was saying, we get interns every season. In fact, we have two seasons worth of interns. We have summer interns and fall interns. We get 11 total every single year. Natasha's done great stepping that up and getting those interns here and trained well and running our programs and everything. And then additionally, we've tasked them with giving something back to the Bear Center in terms of increasing the value here. So a program, an exhibit of some kind, or an enrichment for the Bears, something along those lines. And we've been pretty excited to go into the future with some of these programs. We have some new nesting boxes and areas outside. There's one in the enclosure many of you have seen on the live cams, the osprey or eagle nest platform, as well as several out in our nature trails that aren't necessarily the same, but maybe for a fisher or a different type of animal, as well as the bat hotel or motel, whatever you want to call it. It's huge. It can fit a few hundred bats, so it's massive. But yeah, stuff like that. And we have fall interns right now. Those three are doing great, and they have projects of their own that they're well underway with. So we're excited to see the final project, which is right around the corner, their deadline. So they've been really busy these past few weeks getting stuff painted and organized and made, and it's been kind of fun to watch that too. So lots of good projects, lots of good interns this year. I think I'm expecting the same from next year, so we'll have good interns just like we did this year to boot. So that'll be awesome.
I think Natasha reassures us of that, right?
Oh yeah, that's who I'm looking at. I know you folks can't tell on the camera, but Natasha's running the camera for us, and yeah, that's who I'm talking to and about when we talk about our success with the internship program. It's been awesome. So, and we don't expect anything to change going forward. It's hopefully just going to get better. So, yeah, we're really excited and loving that right now. It's going really great.
Yeah, we had the moose exhibit. We had the moose bone exhibit on the trail that was done by an intern. We had the what house is it out there? The
Fisher House
out on the trail.
An owl box as well.
Owl box out there. The interns have done some neat things. Nick did photography.
Yeah, he did a video for us as well, a day in the life of a bear intern, the day in the life of an ecology intern, which we're really excited to help reach out to future interns, prospective interns with, because it kind of gives them a quick snapshot what it's like to be an intern here, which is pretty neat.
So with all those things mentioned, we yesterday excitedly got 6 more cams going,
Yeah.
and it goes from 3 cams, which we had the PTZ, the mound, and pen number 1. We had that cam going already, but then we included pen number 2, 3, 4, and 5 in the bat house, where you can watch the bat house. Yeah. Batman. But you're not going to see a lot this year because they are probably moving into hibernation because there ain't a lot of food out there for them. So they tend to fly from there and go to crevices and trees, caves, all kinds of different areas where they go to hibernate. Maybe next week Natasha can talk a little on that because I don't know what I'm talking about totally. But it'll be really, really fun to watch it next spring. It really will when the bats start finding that. And we hope to get quite a few bats. It'll take care of a lot of the bugs.
Yeah.
They eat a ton of mosquitoes. They really do.
Yep.
So that'll be our bug zapper.
Yeah.
Will be the bats. And no, they don't fly during the day, so they won't fly into anybody or do anything to bother people. But they do switch houses during the day to a cooler side if it gets too hot out. Did you know that?
I did not.
It's really amazing how they'll adjust their temperatures. We've got it facing at exactly 140 degrees south, the one house. The other one is facing north. And it had to be at 140 degrees. I think it was 142, or was it 140, Natasha? Yeah, it was 140. We got that from the Bat Association, and they say it's critical to have it at that for the sun and for the heat of the day. So that telephone pole, that'll be fun to watch, a little bit different for the Ecology House side of the business. And the Eagle platform. We hope to have the Eagle and Osprey, I always say it wrong. We hope to have that, something, maybe it'll go up there, which would be amazing to have that happen, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would be pretty awesome. I mean, it's right close to the guests on the viewing deck. It's right on top of the roof, basically, for us. I mean, that would be something special if they decided to use that.
I can also, let you know that the Bear Center itself, overall with education, has done a great job. We've had a fair amount of groups in this year, which has been good. We've had some displays that have been changed and redone. We've had rock work done inside. For those of you who visited the Bear Center, it's really looking nice. A lot of compliments there. I'm trying to think. We've done a lot. The one thing we have tried to do and haven't been able to do is get our falls going. A lot of struggles this year. We've had a motor burnout. Then we had the motor seals or the pump seals go bad and fill the pump well up with water, which took out the motors. And we didn't find that out until we got the pumps fixed. And then we went to restart the motor, first motor, and it was loud as could be. And the next one wouldn't even start. So then we got a new motor ordered, put that in, found out the pump was still leaking on the High Falls pump. So they tried to repair that, and then a flange broke. So that's where we sit with that one. The other one, we put the other motor in it, and that motor got so hot that it burned out the wiring. So we sit with a bad pump and bad motor on that side. But no, the pump's rebuilt on the low fall side. But we don't know how that works yet because the motor's no good. So we have to order another motor. So we're choosing, because we would have been shut down anyway, to wait until early spring once we can get in there, once the bears are up and out. And then Sharon and Natasha and the group gets a challenge to get the bears into their enclosure so we can fix the well. But right now we've chosen to not work on that project because of the bears wanting to hibernate. I'll let Sharon talk about that in a minute. But every time we move bears around and we got to lock them all up, it kind of messes with their hibernation process. And, of course, Holly's good at doing that herself, and she's messing with it. But we'll let Sharon talk about that. She's doing it again, folks. But here we go, Sharon.
I can't believe that Holly gets such a rap on this, but here's the thing. Well, the interns have a lot of fun with this, and we just never know where Holly's going to land. And for the past week or so, Holly has shown a great interest in Den 3. She did all her bedding and made it all comfy, and you saw a picture of her in it. Well, Tasha has also shown interest in it, and this year has been a year of challenge with Tasha and Holly. Tasha acts big and bold until Holly looks at her, and then Tasha turns around and goes the other way. Well, every year we know that Holly's probably going to try and take what Tasha has. Well, this morning I went out to take pictures for a video that we'll play at during the Give Men 24 hours, and I look and I go, well, that looks awful lot like Holly in that den. So what happened? I walked back, and sure enough, Holly had taken Den 1, Tasha was in Den 3, and Lucky was snuggled in Den 2. Now, will they stay there? I don't know, because Lucky has shown interest in Den 1 too. Den 1, not 2, but he's in 2. I don't know if you can figure that one out. Anyway, we're calling it again. There was a term phrased when the wild bears were in their den with Hope and Jason and Faith, and it was called Merry-Go-Round, and that's what's happening here too. They're just going from one den to another den. I wanted to also talk a little bit about enrichment and how important the interns have taken their job as to providing the bears stimulation through the fact that they were in for over 5 weeks in their enclosures. Every day the interns came up with some new way to make the bears have to work for either a treat or just pure play. On Holly's behalf, it was kind of a mixture of play and I want to get out of here. But that's what happens when you provide them with a different stimulation. But they all did very, very well. They have all explored each one of the dens, and it's just to our whole staff and everyone involved, you folks that provided a lot of the funding for the fencing, to see these bears like they're not only the enclosures, the new fencing, the visitors just rave about it. And to push in a little bit of a kick, we had our USDA inspection last week. We did 100% yay, and she absolutely loved the enclosures. Each of the dens can be opened up to over the amount that they have. Each one is approximately 30 by 35, but we can open it up and give them another 35 up to 140 feet of open space that they can go from den to den to den. They can all use each one. We don't close them. They can explore them. The only time that they're closed is if Lucky is in or Tasha is in, due to the fact that they don't really get along that well. So overall, I think that the time that they spent inside their dens the first 5 weeks of our year this year has been totally worth it, to see them not only happy. The interns were very gracious and planted clover, white clover, contributed by our folks on Amazon that do our Amazon wish list. Thank you so much for not only the foods that you send, the nuts that you send, but the clovers and the wildflowers too. We have planted, as you see, and if you can't see, and you should be able to see in the first den, there's actually poppies growing around the den, and there's white clover everywhere, and they eat it every single day. So thank you so much. But on top of everything else, the bears are just having a great year, and the weights are where I like them. And we have to remember, I was thinking, geez, I'm not going to get Lucky into that 500 range. And then I'm also thinking, Lucky's going to be 17. He's moving into the geriatric stage of his life. And so he really doesn't have to eat that much. I mean, to make him 500 pounds, but he is at an excellent weight to hibernate. So I just want to thank everyone, not only for your Amazon Smile, all the things that go on our wish list. You folks have just been so very generous in sending them to us. I know I ask for a lot of things, and you guys come through for me. So thank you. But most of all, thank you from the Bears.
Good job, Sharon. And I got to thank Sharon for her weekly bear news that she puts out, and I got to thank many people that look at that bear news. Kathy Paulson. I got to thank our moderators and our pond chatters, everybody out there that watches the bears and the bear enclosures with the cameras and helps out. We have our interesting situations sometimes, but ultimately, we've got so many cameras right now, they probably don't know which one to choose. So for you folks that are new to this and watching on Facebook or are new to it and just watching us live right now, we have a total of how many cams, Spencer?
Oh, I'm not even sure.
9. Did you ever think that we would have, is it 8 or 9? Let's see, we got 5 enclosure cams. We got a mount cam. We got a PTZ for the waterfalls, and we got a back cam. So we got 8.
Plus a live cam.
Plus the live events cam. So we're cammed up. And I'll tell you what, if you would have told me that we could run all these cams 7, 8 years ago, we couldn't have. We were lucky to run 2 with what we had. Talking about our cameras, will they buffer every now and then at your house? Yeah, that can happen. And that's a number of reasons why that can happen. If one cam is buffering and another one's not, that means that our system's working here. We've got 1 gig of speed here, and it's fiber optics, and it is, I think it's went down 1 time, and that's it. But we've got many other things that we have to deal with outside. We've got the IP Cam Live that all this goes to. From there, it goes to your provider, from your provider to your computer, and sometimes it jumps other places too. So there are occasions where you're going to see a little bit of buffering, or you're going to see a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but we got 8 cams going plus the live events cam. Our pictures are phenomenal.
I think so.
The clarity is ridiculous. I mean, I just love it. It's really neat. Now we got to do something with it. Now we got to move into education and talk about what bears are where. We can't really tell you where they're going to den right now because, first of all, we got a contest going on.
Correct.
Secondly, we can't tell weights going in or nothing because we got a contest going on. But you can see on cams, and you know what you voted already. And you can be rooting for Holly to switch, or, who would have figured she would have possibly taken another den. But it happens. And it makes it fun. It really does. It's kind of neat to have all those things to be able to touch. It really is. So we ask you to spread the word about the cams to everybody out there and share Facebook Live. Share this event. Share when you see something going on if you're on Facebook. If you can move it to Twitter and to the other spots, please do that. The only way we grow, the only way we spread education is by spreading the word, correct? And the mission of the North American Bear Center and Dr. Lynn Rogers, they want us to spread the word and share and educate people about black bears and their surrounding community, correct?
And all the animals that grow with it.
Yeah. So now we'll talk about our last thing, and that'll be give to the max. Give MN. Early giving starts November 1st, correct?
Correct. November.
And our date to go a full long day is what date?
The 16th.
Save the date for the 16th, but early giving last year was a record for us. We will be going for $45,000 this year. That will be our goal, correct?
Correct.
That's a good one.
You may ask, well, why are we going backwards by $5,000? Because our projects are going to be different this year. I'll just give you a brief description of them right now. We're going to be needing to do, believe it or not, other enclosure updates, such as new posts and new fencing. They will not look like the fencing we got now, but the posts that are in the ground that go around the whole enclosure are rotting at the ground, point where the water's usually the most. So we got to replace those posts. We got to replace fencing to keep the bears safe. We've had a lot of trees fall on fencing over the time, and we've had to patch it. It's not nowhere near as what the cost was of the other fencing. We've got the CAM stuff we're going to try and recover some costs from. We've got educational stuff we want to do. We've got programs that we want to operate. We want to get some bear safety stuff out there and bear enrichment stuff, correct?
That's correct. The enrichment and enhancement is part of what we're going for.
We got to possibly, in fact, it's looking more and more like we got to rebuild the plumbing to our falls on the low falls area because it's leaking. So we got to have that tore up. We've got figures and costs that we can talk about, and we'll talk about it during Give to the Max. So tune in for that. But we are going for a goal of $45,000 this year. Last year we hit over $50,000. And thanks to all you out there that generously dug in and gave and still give throughout the year. We appreciate it, and we appreciate every dollar that you give, whether it's $1 or however much. It's important. And it's important that we talk about early giving because last year I think when we came into early giving, when we came into Give to the Max, we were at what, 30,000 or close to it? We were at a lot. It was a lot.
It was more than we anticipated.
Yeah, and a lot more than we anticipated.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, we were in shock. We're like, how are we going to move this needle? And we know that we've got a lot of people out there working on this. We've got our fundraising crew. We've started meeting a couple weeks ago or so, and we're excited to have this crew going, and it's a great group of people that work hard to do it. Everybody else out there that watches and spreads the word about Give to the Max helps us out. It's all about spreading the word. The Bear Center has done a fantastic job over the years of growing to the point where we're one of the top attractions in the state of Minnesota to visit. And I think we're, number 4 in museum attractions to visit? Yeah.
Yeah, that was something that when we found that out was just super great because we are number 4 in museum attractions.
And if you take a look at that list, it's a lot of places that we're going by, and I got to, again, hand it to the staff, the interns, the volunteers. I mean, one whole big group of people is what put this together and took Dr. Lynn Rogers' basically dream and turned it into reality. But we take a look at that. We take a look at many other areas where we're rated, and we're rated very, very high as a place to visit, an enjoyable place. So please spread the word about the North American Bear Center, and let's make it a household word, right?
Right.
Let's make it a word that people want to talk about, and we'll work on these cams. We'll continue to grow and move forward in many different ways, and we always have an ear open to any suggestions. They don't always get done, but you know what? Sometimes they do, right? I can't even believe all the years that we've had many, many volunteers out there that have given us ideas that we've came off of and maybe changed it a little bit, but done it, don't we?
Yeah, they're very helpful in suggestions, and we kind of take it with runs sometimes, and sometimes it gets on the back shelf and we look at it again.
Yep. Also, one of the things I forgot to mention is our viewing deck area and all that. It's going to all be painted to match. That's going to be part of what we're going to go after, too. It's going to be painted to match the fencing, so it's going to be a nice forest green color, and that definitely needs an update as far as paint and everything goes. It's peeling all over the place, and we need to work on that. Any other ideas, as far as growing goes? We're always open. Email us, scott@bear.org or bearcenter@info.org. Spencer?
It's Pete@bear.org.
Pete@bear.org.
shurl@bear.org.
That's shurl@bear.org. And you can also go on and look and pick an email off our site. We also have a new website that we're working on right now that's going to be coming out hopefully within the next month or two. It's going to be a new updated site that's going to have a lot of interaction stuff in it that we can do. So want to make you aware of that's coming. And we'll let you know dates and times when that's released and when we can put it up live. We're going to have actually a separate web store site, which will be really nice. You won't notice a difference. You'll click on it and it'll go to it. But it'll help us be able to spread our product around and maybe get more business.
That would be great.
Yeah. And social media and all that stuff we're going to grow in too. Is there anything else we should mention, Spencer?
think you hit everything on the list.
Well, we probably got close. I'm sure there's some things that they'll tell me I didn't mention, but we'll mention it next week, right?
That sounds good. And hibernation is only a couple weeks away if we get that far.
Yes, and Sharon, you're going to be heading to Michigan for a few weeks. What date is that?
I'll be gone after the 20th, so but I'll still be kind of working, but I'll be on my way home.
And then she's going to come back for, which is very, very nice, for drive all the way back for Get to the Max. And then we got to go into somewhat hibernation. We won't see you until spring. It's always a long time. But we'll be excited to come back next week and talk to you guys on, I think it's what's the date of next week? It's next Tuesday, I believe, and 7 days from today. So we'll be on at 10 o'clock again. It's the 17th of October. We'll be excited to talk to you again and give you an update on Give to the Max, early giving. We'll be kind of pushing that a little bit. Stay tuned. Thanks for tuning in. And from all of us at the North American Bear Center in Ely, Minnesota, we say have a great day. Bye now.